just nothing but vodka, and just drinking that again with the frontal lobe. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, DearLife101, and if this is your first time, well then welcome. So today I'm excited because it's a story time because I hit 15 subscribers and I promised you a story time, a good juicy one. And before anyone judges me, I grew up in Tucson, Arizona, and yes, it's as awful as it sounds. There's literally nothing to do but to get into trouble. Like, it's not my fault. Honestly, parents, I was a pretty good kid. I'm just gonna throw that out there, besides like this 1 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 times. And, but let's go into the story. So, where I lived in Arizona, it was like, I did live in like the suburbs. It was like a poppin' neighborhood. Everyone like that was cool lived there. So anyway, I was in my bed sleeping, parents like I was supposed to do, but then I got a text from like these older classmen, the cool kids, but they were actually my friends, so like it wasn't anything like crazy like that. I wasn't just like going into a party not knowing. So I'm not gonna say his name because my parents know him very, very well. He was throwing parties and inviting all the neighborhood kids. So I got out of bed and I snuck down my stairs, and he was like maybe like a few streets down. In the same neighborhood. So I went to the house and it was my first time drinking, and it's just crazy how when you're that age, like your frontal lobe really isn't developed, because what we were drinking and how we were drinking that night literally makes no sense. So I started off with it was vodka, and it was like vodka and orange juice, so screwdrivers, and I ended up getting so drunk, but I was obviously like having a good time. I got so drunk that I didn't even you stopped tasting alcohol, you know? I just got like a big red cup of just plain vodka. Just nothing but vodka. And just drinking that. Again with the frontal lobe, because honestly thinking back, like I feel like I want to throw up right now. And by the mercy of God, I actually...
The old and the new.
The old and the new. The first cup of vodka I actually did finish by myself. Then I got a second cup of just straight vodka. Me and a few other girls were like, ah, like just laying on the carpet, like laughing, and I like went to get my like cup, and it like, you know, tipped over, and then like hurt, like another one's like tipped over on the carpet, and I like look back like, oh, thank you, like God, that happened because would I be alive? I thought it was ridiculous. Anyway, so it got so bad and I got so wasted that I had to call my boyfriend at the time, and just we'll call him, should I say his real name? We'll just call him D. I was like, D, come and get me. And I was like, I'm not, we'll call him Mitch. Okay, I'm at Mitch's house and I'm really drunk, and he was like so annoyed. How do I get there? What are you doing? Are you okay? So he came and he like rescued me, and he like stayed with me during my time of like throwing up and falling everywhere. It was a mess. As we were leaving, I asked for water. He's like, that's probably a good idea, let me get you some water. And he was already having a hard time holding me up, and my boyfriend at the time, like he's a really big guy. Like he was like a freshman on varsity, so like football, so he's like a huge guy, and he's like having a hard time holding me up. So he passes me off to Mitchell, and he's like, hold her, I'm gonna get her some water. The minute he passed me off, boom, I hit the floor, and I remember that, and he was just like, oh, like my goodness. He helps to get me back up. He walks me down the block to my house, and by this time, I'm just a mess, you guys. Like I'm over here like, you know, like laughing and like, ah, like but half throwing up, and you know, he's like trying to like shove me in my door, and he's like, shut up, like go upstairs, go to bed. He's like, you know, and I'm like, I'm all bed, like just a dummy. Anyway, so I get upstairs, and I got myself a trash can, by the way, very proud of myself, 14-year-old Rachel. That's the one thing you did right that night. So I got a trash can, and I'm like laying there, and I'm like, whoa, like puking my brains out. And let me rewind about 2 weeks prior. Now my church was going on this trip. They were going on a trip to the fair, and I wanted to go, but I really wanted my big sister to come with me. Summer, I'm gonna tag you in this because you deserve to know. So she did not want to go. Like she was at the age, if I was 14, she was like 16. So she was at the age where she just didn't want to go hang around with all these little kids at a fair, especially on a church trip. But like I pretty much begged my mom to make her go. So we all like convinced her and like pretty much like down there make her go. And so after the night of drinking, that trip was the next day. So my mom comes in the morning and like to get us up, and I was talking to her and throwing up at the same time. I was like, whoa, it's like something wrong with my stomach. I was like, I think I'm just really sick. I was like, so I don't know if I'll be able to go. Like, you know. And at first my mom was like very understanding and kind of like, okay, are you okay? And as she was walking out of my room, she stopped and looked at the trash can and looked at me, and there was like, I just saw this realization that she could possibly know. And I was kind of like, no, like how would she know? And then she just kind of and walked back out. And I convinced myself, I was like, no, there's no way she knows. Rachel, this is a time you're just being crazy, like she doesn't know. But come on guys, like now being older, you can totally smell that. She knew. She probably was like, well, now she knows her lesson. Like now she's learned her lesson. Let's see if she does that again. So that's probably honestly what that was. So anyways, I wanted to go so bad, you know, to my church trip. So, you know, we get in the car and I was like, you know, hopefully by then this like flu will be over and I'll feel better, so then I'll go. So I went with them. There was no way I was gonna go. I think I like ran into the church and like threw up really quickly, and I was like, there's no way, like I can't go. The part that makes me laugh the most now is I remember being in the car and the bus driving off and seeing my sister in the window. And she was so mad, she was so annoyed because my parents were like, well, we already paid for it. Rachel's sick, so someone's gonna go. Like someone's gonna get our money's worth. A fun time of church fun fair. And so she was just like in the bus, like as it just drove off, and, and I just remember her face, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm the worst. But I couldn't care too much because I was still throwing up. So it was more about me at that time. And that's my story. That's a 14-year-old drunk Rachel. And you guys know the truth is my stomach hurt literally 2 days after. So wait, 2 days after that, because that was like a weekend and 2 days at school. So for 3 days my stomach, like the lining of my stomach hurt. So I'm pretty sure I had alcohol poisoning because I was pale, I couldn't stop throwing up. And like I said, like who's ever heard of a 3-day hangover? Now being older, like how does that even exist? And I was so young, at the age of 14, you don't even get hangovers like that. So that's the time I had alcohol poisoning and I could have died. And I just was scared of my parents killing me. So I was like, I'd rather die from poisoning. And my dad's gonna be so disappointed. But honestly, this is the worst story I have under the age of 18. And I can honestly say that that time completely just ruined me. For the longest time, I could not smell orange juice without wanting to throw up. And honestly, to this day, that's why I don't drink orange juice. The only one that knows me very well and knows that I hate orange juice, that is the exact story on why I don't do orange juice. So there's that. Oh, and Summer, since I'm going to tag you in this, my lovely sister, you can tell me now if you hate me, or are we good? I don't know, like, because I did kind of hang you out to dry. But I mean, I want to know if you had fun. So after I tag you in this video, let me know how that church trip went, because I don't think we really discussed that. Yeah. Anyway, alright, so that's it for the story time. I hope that you enjoyed it. When I hit 30 subscribers, then I'll do another story time. And until then, I will see you guys next week, next Wednesday. And that's it. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and let's go ahead and subscribe. Bye, guys.